Imagine getting divorced and walking away with only what you personally paid for. No 50-50 split. Sounds wild, right? China has just passed a groundbreaking new divorce law that's making headlines worldwide. Under this law, when a couple splits, they no longer divide property equally. Instead, you walk away with only what you personally bought or contributed to financially. That means if your partner bought the house and your name wasn't on it, you don't get half. Supporters say it promotes fairness and personal responsibility. Critics argue it could leave stay-at-home spouses, often women, with nothing. It's sparking huge debate about love, money, and power in relationships. What do you think? Is this the future of marriage laws or a step backward? Drop your thoughts in the comments and share this with someone who needs to hear it.
Donald Trump is shaking up divorce laws with a bold new proposal. He wants to end the 50-50 asset split, arguing it's unfair to men. Trump believes women shouldn't automatically become rich after a divorce just because they married a successful man. Under his plan, ex-wives must prove financial need to receive support capped at $100,000. He insists, if I earned my money, I shouldn't have to give half away. Trump also suggests that if a mother can't afford to raise the kids, custody should go to the father. This proposal has sparked national debate. Some say it's fair, others call it unfair to women. What do you think? Is this a necessary reform or a step too far? Let us know in the comments and subscribe for more updates.
I need nothing more.
You're set. Better not to linger here, though, eh?
Kratos. Zeus.
Zeus?
My father.
Your father was Zeus? That explains a lot.
What is that place?
Never go there. Understand?
Welcome, my friends. My name is Antoine Phoenix, and this is my RP experience. Peace and love to all my brothers and sisters out there. Thank you for hitting the like button, subscribing, sharing, and turn on all notifications so you know when I have a whole new video up. Tonight's video is about China started this. Okay, so we can't say all bad stuff with China. And of course, I don't like stereotyping the whole people just because their government and my government don't exactly get along. But China has changed their divorce law that, as you saw in the beginning, when a man and woman get married, both people would walk away with what they came in with. Now, I have mixed feelings with this only to a certain degree because Kentucky has recently did something. I forget how long ago they did this, but I only heard about it this week that they changed their child support law. I don't think they exactly changed the marriage law yet, but Donald Trump, of course, is doing it. And this is what I mean by, I know a lot of people don't like him, but as I often say with people like Andrew Tate or whoever, even a broke clock can be right twice a day. So while I don't always like how he talks on social media or how he pumps his chest out with that bravado that he loves to do, I do like that he has the courage or the balls to do certain things like this. That's for men and not just to cater to women. Now, I think it should be balanced there, but I find that the other political party definitely caters to women. And I don't think it's wrong to look out for women and minorities and people of different sexuality, but it can't get to the point that it's unfair to everyone else or to one side. Even if I'm benefiting in the situation, I would feel bad if I'm aware that the other person is being taken advantage of. But that's just me. Most people are not like that. So that's why we have laws, because a lot of times well, not a lot of times, but I think especially in the past, we are hoping someone does the right thing or makes the right decision. But that does not always happen. In marriage, that myth, well, I think it's a myth now, but that thing of painting women as angelic beings that always do the right thing, the moral high ground thing, whereas men are always socially corrupt and immoral. Yes, that counts for a lot of men, but that's not all men. And definitely not all women are saints. I see plenty that do their men wrong. A lot of times, though, to be honest, is both genders are doing each other wrong. But because the marriage thing has had such a tilted thing that even I was brought online to start talking about it. And I'm going to mention why I believe the manosphere, the red pill space, and I'm glad to be part of this change, this movement in a way. We somewhat caused this shift. Us in the fact that women were exposing themselves. I have a creator here. Forget her name, but I'm definitely going to share where you can see the source video. But she made a great take. She has a feminine, positive energy with her, which I believe she's a good woman, only by her demeanor on her video. So, without further ado, let's take a look at that.
Divorces in Kentucky just collapsed by 25%. Not because couples suddenly found love again, but because the cash out game is over. For decades, divorce was treated like a jackpot. Mom walks away with the kids. Mom walks away with the check. And dad? He's reduced to a weekend visitor and a paycheck.
One state just nuked its divorce rates by doing one rare thing that the rest of America would never dare.
And there is a real danger that the divorce rate is going down because it's harder for women to leave.
If I have my child half the time, why am I paying full support? Like I'm not even around. I'm feeding them, clothing them, taking them to school, wiping their tears, just like she is. But somehow only I have to pay up. This system don't reward fatherhood. It punishes it.
Kentucky flipped the script. They became the first state in America to pass a law making 50-50 custody the default. And the moment that happened, something incredible and honestly terrifying for some people was exposed. When women realized they could no longer cash out through the courts, divorce filing dropped overnight. A full quarter fewer divorces in one state compared to just 18% nationwide. Men call it fairness. Women's group, they call it dangerous.
Dangerous, you say? Now, of course, those women would think it's dangerous because they no longer benefit from the situation. Now, can it be dangerous? Yes, it can. But see, in a situation like this, I always try to play devil's advocate of seeing both sides of the equation. Now, you have to understand, both men and women watching this video, majority of women, unless if they are a friend of that man, but the women that are going through divorce, they don't care that their ex-husband is living in a cardboard box or barely able to survive, trying to pay child support and alimony depending on his income level. Now understand, I come from a community that a percentage of men do not pay child support. I'm not sure of the numbers these days, but I know when I was younger, my dad didn't pay child support. And I know plenty of other kids growing up that their father did not pay child support. However, I have to look in my community, the men that the women were picking. A lot of them was maybe in and out of jail. Maybe he had a bunch of baby moms, so she wasn't really able to get anything anyway, that type of stuff. But the only time I would think that a woman deserves to get a care package, a walk away package, is if she was that traditional wife that did not work at all, that they had kids together, she tended the house and home, they was together for a significant amount of time, and then he just up and left her. Now, I know women are complaining about the ability to leave. You can leave. You just won't get that walk away money that you are used to getting. See, the thing is that not too many people are going to say, well, there will be women say, oh, they'll be trapped in the marriage and unable to leave. The way that it's set up right now, most men are trapped in the marriage. I know I felt trapped in mine. Not to say I'm usually not a person to just leave a woman just because we're having a rough time or something, especially if we had a connection and we have a lot of history together. It's hard enough to leave them under those reasons right there. But you add in that if you leave, besides it being wrong for the man to leave, it's also you're going to lose half your money. And that's not to say I had a lot of money, but the thing was, if we had purchased a house and I would have been the one to use my military thing to get one, I would have split it with her. If I had bought a car, I would have, even though if we had kids, I probably would give her a car. See, now that's the thing. Men that are good or decent men, they don't leaving the woman desolate. The thing is, not all men think that way. But a lot of women, because I know mine to a certain degree, she didn't give a fuck. The only thing I'll say, she didn't try to crush me the same way as I see a lot of women will crush their man. But still, as funky as she was acting before and then after divorce, the only thing that made her start behaving as a good individual was this YouTube channel that I was talking about our shit and about other people's relationships and how women be doing good men or decent men dirty. Okay? Meanwhile, if you hear most women talk about their ex-husband, yes, maybe he cheated, but was you two doing it? Were you being a good wife? Were you abusing him, verbally abusing him, hitting him, doing things? And of course, he should have just left. But the fact that he's going to lose his kids, lose money, have to pay you money, even when you're not in a relationship, is things that would downright keep most men there.
And that clash right there between fairness and fear is why this story is exploding.
There are reports coming out of Kentucky that the divorce rate has completely plummeted. 25%. It's gone down 25%. Like, That's significant. You know, when the divorce rate nationally rests, I don't know, I think a little bit above 50%, to have it drop 25% in one state means to pay attention. It's a reason to pay attention.
And here's the kicker. The money numbers prove it. Before this law, a dad making $4,000 a month would be forced to hand over nearly $10,000 a year in child support. After the new law, that drops to maybe $200 a month, sometimes zero. We're talking about a $7,500 swing in every year. Plus, something even bigger, half of his child's life back. I'll break down that math in just a moment. But first, let's talk about why this single change sent shockwaves through the divorce industry. Because let's be real, if divorce filing dropped by 25% the second the financial jackpot disappeared, what does that tell you? For years, men have been told, no, it's not about the money. Women just aren't happy. But the data speaks louder than the excuses. As soon as the reward for leaving was gone, so was the rush to file divorce. And that's why this law is stirring up a storm. Fathers say it's justice. Critics say it's a trap. Women's groups are arguing that it locks moms in marriages and puts kids at risk. But let's look at the bigger picture. Florida, Arkansas, West Virginia, Missouri, they've already filed Kentucky's lead. And right now, over 20 more states are considering it. This isn't just about Kentucky. This is the beginning of the end for the divorce cash-out system. The critics say this law puts women and children in danger. But when you actually look at the facts, and when you see how much the system was really built on men's wallet, you'll understand why this law isn't just saving families. It's exposing the truth about modern divorce.
Unfortunately, marriage has become more like a club or a bar. How do you get the women in the club or the bar? You let them in for free. You let them get free drinks at a certain point. You let them get in free to attract the men so the men can pay to get in. Marriage was starting to look like this. And see, this is the most funniest thing. Marriage would have kept going the way it was going. Except a lot of women that got on social media had to open their big mouth. This men's movement, or the men going their own way and the red pill, or that stuff, was there for a while, for a minute, talking about this stuff. But we were just talking into the void because we had no proof. And most women would shout down and say, it's not all women, or we're not like this. And what about when men do this? Okay, we're talking about women right now. But since women have volunteered coming online, saying toxic things and hateful things toward men, you have given us all the information and the ammunition and the evidence to prove a guy like me, because I used to be on a woman's side until I got done dirty and I started really, it was like my eyes was open and I put on those sunglasses like in that movie. I forget that movie that Russell was in, that when he put on these glasses, he could see the real world how it was. But when I started seeing, like, wow, there's a lot of bad women out here. And even the women that's not necessarily bad, they have no incentive to be good because there's nothing to force them to be good. Whereas society and laws and the pressure has been on men to start being better. And I'm not against that right there, because it was a large group of men that was getting out of control, and it showed that when men have too much power, like a Diddy or Epstein or where the other guy was in Hollywood, they'll start taking advantage of that power, abusing other men, definitely women, kids, everything. But since I've seen that women are not that much better, and almost worse, because most people look the other way when they are doing their dirt. Now I'm like, wow, yeah, I don't know if I'll ever get married again. It might be a woman that will convince me, but I will be surprised if she is from the US. Or if, and I can't go by we get along and we hit it off and we have a connection or something, because most of the time the only thing I have to do is look at her social media or even her political stance. Because while I will say I lean more conservative, I'm more independent because I think for myself. I believe both parties are loopy, okay? But since the liberal side seem to live in this thing of no rules and regulations, and as long as it's benefiting your group or the people that you are with, you don't give a fuck about anybody else because everybody else have oppressed you. Black people, not all black people, a lot of black people will think about that. Women will think like that. I mean, yeah, they'll think like that. So when they're punishing people, whether it's white men or black men or other nationalities or something, because they're not having their way, yeah, it's just bad business out here. So I have to thank the women for opening up my eyes how a lie you are. Are you bad? No, but a lie you are. And the way the marriage thing was set up, yeah, if you're a bad woman, you're just going to be worse. And even if you're a decent woman and you pick your friends poorly, you're definitely going to do that man wrong in the end. No matter how much you say you won't do it or I love him so much, let your feelings change. And actually, I believe in a breakup, that exposes how a person really is, how far they can go. And I know I'm not perfect here because I can be definitely petty and grimy. But even with that, there are still things that I won't do. And I usually will do the right thing. My ex-wife did not have to twist my arm to pay child support. The way it may turn out now, I may not have to pay it, but because I gave her my word and we had an agreement and she did not do certain things like some other women have done some of their ex-husbands, I will honor the contract more so than maybe she did with certain things, but I digress. Give me a like and subscribe. I had to go on a little rant right there. So, everybody, we still down to get married in 2025 going into 2026? Well, if you do, you both better treat each other better. There's no more going to be that thing of one side can get over, or once they lose feelings, they can do the other side dirty. Have a good day.
Who benefits more in marriage, man or woman?
I think there's no benefit for a man, unfortunately, in the Western way of marriage. I think it's so sickening that, we have this agreement that women, when they divorce a man, they can just leave with a lot of his money or expect alimony for the rest of their life. And one of the things I always ask women is, are you going to have sex with him after you divorce for the rest of your life? And she's like, why would I do that? I was like, then why do you expect payment for the rest of your life? It's so strange that they want the perks and the lifestyle of the one that they attained from jumping on the back of their husband after the divorce, yet they wouldn't give anything after the divorce. They didn't even give a lot of that during the marriage, let alone after.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
$dollar bills, keep you falling from me. I love the way I feel, boy. Some money, dropping on my money, drop some money on a sister, yummy, yeah. Drinking, buy that things I like. Boy, bye, stopping in my ass tonight. Some money, dropping on my money.